And welcome back to the Mining Indaba. Thanks so much for staying with us here on Morning Live as we continue to walk the floor and have some fun with some of the exhibitors present here. So one of the exhibitions that has, of course, also been very popular is the one here at the Anglo-American stand. And I've got a message here from Samath Shah. And Samath says, Sakina, could you please find out when the hydrogen electric heavy mining truck just launched by Anglo Toy would be out for my child? He's been fascinated from the time I told him of the blue and yellow truck. And that is the baby. Well, it's a model because the actual truck is an absolute monster. And with us, Carl van den Ordel, who is mine engineer at Anglo-American. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you very much. It's maybe a missed opportunity that we have in selling these little toy kits. We probably would have made a good profit on them. But just as our big truck, it's a accumulation or various parts that we managed to put together just to get this little display working. But it's a life-size hydrogen fuel cell on this toy that's busy running here. So we charge it, generating hydrogen, storing hydrogen emulsed in the water. And as soon as you take the charge off and you put a load on it, the process reverses as a fuel cell, combining that hydrogen and oxygen again, releasing an electric current. So very similar to what we're doing on the big truck that we have, the monster truck as you referred to, but just on a slightly larger scale. And that's what we're demonstrating on our display floor over here, how we capture solar energy and put that energy into our electrolyzer, which generates hydrogen for us. And from there, we compress it, we can clean the hydrogen, move it onto the truck, and we have a rather large fuel cell on the truck that harnesses that energy electrochemically process and powers the wheel motors on the truck.
So just to explain a little bit more, as in for dummies like me, breaking it down, the water now. So let's start there. I suppose splitting the water into
oxygen and
hydrogen, the H2O, so the oxygen and the hydrogen. So just a little slower for me.
All right, no problem. Sorry for that. So ultimately we take DC current, so direct current. We apply it on an anode and a cathode. And inside that little contraption that we have over there, it basically takes H2O with that electric current, separates it into its molecules, hydrogen and oxygen. And in this little model, that gas bubbles on a micro scale diffuses into the water. You'll see that the water level when it's full and charged is relatively high. Mm-hmm. That indicates that I've diffused gas bubbles into the water. And then that's where we entrain or keep that gas separated. As soon as we take and we put a load over the fuel cell, it reverses the process that we have, taking the hydrogen gas that we've got in the water, oxygen gas that we've got in the water, combining them over the catalyst that's in the center, and that chemical reaction takes place, combining hydrogen and oxygen back into water and releasing an electric charge for us. So ultimately we're turning water, which is a safe substance, into a storage. We create fuel from it and we store it in this little model, and we can use it later and in this case drive this little truck around in a circle.
Absolutely fascinating. And thank you so much for talking us through it. And as we said, just the original truck, which we have a picture of behind us, how big is it exactly?
Well, if I stand next to the wheel's twice my size almost. The diameter of the wheel is 3.5 meters. Empty, the truck is about 220 tons, and we can fit 300 tons in the back load bowl that we have. So a behemoth 520 tons when it's fully loaded on the truck. Stands about 8 meters wide, 15 meters long, 7.5 meters high. Climbing up to the top, sitting in that driver's cab, everything is small down below you, and really we respect those machines on the mine and we give it clearances.
And I guess, the most important question is about emissions. And, explain to us what this truck does in terms of that.
So from greenhouse gas perspective, 0 emissions are emitted from our new fully electric hydrogen fuel cell battery hybrid truck. So it's really a culmination of all the efforts in our Future Smart Mining program that we've been going, and we've launched last week Friday, as you mentioned, our zero emission haulage system solution, which really removes the diesel engine out of the truck, and we fit in our battery and fuel cell hybrid powertrain, that the only emissions coming out of the truck is water again.
Well, as you heard there, zero emissions. And I guess this is what it is all about, becoming carbon neutral. And this is what Anglo has done, their latest baby. So to our viewer who sent in the question, I don't think Anglo thought about that, but maybe they will. But I can tell you, just around the corner here, there is actually a little bit of a 4D cinema. It is absolutely fascinating. If you can, hopefully you'll have an opportunity to actually participate. I'm hoping Anglo will take this around the country, because you sit in there and it tells you the story, the evolution of, life, and it talks about the mineral story. And when it rains, you feel the drops. When there's fire, you feel the heat. It's absolutely fascinating 4D watching in there. But that's unfortunately where we have to leave it for Morning Live today.